if we started right now and I said you needed to pick a side, because I've been thinking about it, I don't know if it's fair to you to have you prepare for both sides and then choose which one you're going to do on Tuesday. So I'm curious, if you had to choose now, and you said, I believe in this side, like, was it a good thing that Europe, like Christopher Columbus discovered America? Okay, was it a good thing or was it a bad thing? Kind of, which side do you think you would take? Could you, if you think it was like a good thing and you're glad it happened, can you raise your hand? So about 6, 7 of you. So everyone else is against it. You don't want to exist.
And what if we don't?
Because I mean, think it through. If it never happened, we wouldn't be here.
And
just saying.
What if we think like both? Like we.
Well, who would be willing to argue that it was a good thing that it happened? Who would be willing to say, yes, it's a good. I understand all the bad things that went with it, but okay.
It's a good thing.
But in general, I support it. It's a good thing. Like I'm on the side of yay, Columbus found America.
Can it be the two sides?
Again, I understand it's a complex issue.
You're saying but the one that first raised our hand.
You guys own it more than the other people. Yeah. So we'll do that. So we'll do. Who were the original 7 or 8 people that raised their hand? Okay. So it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Yeah, Manolo had his hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 7. So then I need 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Rosie, Juanita, Luciana, and Manuela. So those are the 11. Okay. So you guys are going to be researching from the perspective of
Spanish.
Good. I'm glad Columbus did it. This is the impact. This is the positive thing.
Yes.
Not to say like you can acknowledge the bad things that happen, but you're saying in general, this is the best thing that happened.
Yeah, there were
Everybody else, you're on the other side. You're saying we shouldn't have done it. It shouldn't have happened. There was way too many bad things that happened. So, yeah.
And what side are you on?
What side am I on?
Yeah.
I'm in the middle. I have the joy and the I'm an adult and I don't have an assignment to do. So I get the comfortable place of acknowledging that both good and bad things happen, and then I can tell you my overall opinion later, so I don't sway anybody.
Oh.
Okay? All right, so we'll do that. Okay, so when you're reading and when you're collecting evidence, from this day forward when we're talking about it, you know what position you're going to be taking on Tuesday. Okay? Does anybody have questions about that? That's why I have 2 sides of the same coin, right? Same coin. Columbus did something, and there's 2 sides to it. And so we're going to be arguing one side. I mean, you are going to be arguing one side, and you are not. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, plural you. So what we're going to be talking about today, very quickly, is this idea that you've decided on your point of view, and now you need to gather evidence to show your point of view. Okay, and that's what readers do. That's what historians do. Once you've determined what your view is, it's now your responsibility to collect evidence, to collect support that shows, okay, that you are correct, that your viewpoint is correct. Now, one of the ways we do that, and let me kind of put this too, I will have kind of the process or something. I go over here, I'll have it up as a paper on this board, and then tomorrow it will be back on the wall, glued to the wall. So if you turn around right now and look at the wall, hi wall, I'm starting to put stuff back there. So there'll be reading processes, writing processes, probably some math stuff. I haven't determined exactly what I'm going to do with the whiteboard. But that was my thought process. My thought process was most of the stuff is high, you don't look at it. Okay, if I can get it down to your eye level, there's a higher chance that you're going to be using the things that you should be using. You should be using this stuff. Okay, it's going to help you out. I don't do this just to go, maybe one day if you think you might like to try. Like, you should be doing it. Okay, it's going to make you a better reader. It's going to make you a more interesting human being if you use these processes. Okay, it's the way we learn stuff, the way we gather. All right, so I'm going to go through this process. So I picked a couple things. I didn't do that. To look at from the book. Let me have my read aloud. So the very first thing I have here is, I did. I got that right. Is a picture of our friend Christopher Columbus.
That
So
is
it's a
Columbus.
it's a Spanish painting of Christopher Columbus
Bringing that in
returning from his original discovery. And at first, when I looked at this, I thought, well, this is a picture that people who support this thing could use. Right? This is a picture that someone who supported this idea that it was a good thing could use. And then I was like, you know what, Mr. Light, challenge yourself. So now I'm going to look at this painting from the viewpoint of someone who thinks it was a bad idea. And I'm going to use this thing. So this is a painting, and this painting shows Christopher Columbus returning to the king and queen and showing what he's discovered. Okay, that's what it shows. I noticed that he's kind of the center of attention. He has this native person kind of on their knees, right? His hand is on their head. That's a very domineering position.
But I think
That's a I'm better than you. I am stronger than you. It's like you pet your dog. Like it's a hierarchy thing. It's like I am above you. I noticed that. I noticed the other people in the back. This guy doesn't look thrilled. It's not like he's smiling. Well, none of them are really smiling. It might have been a miserable time in human history anyway. I noticed all the trinkets and gold. I'm wondering if they gave that freely. Did they take it from there? It could support my argument because it shows Columbus putting himself above and saying, we are the better people. Look at these things I brought you. Look at not only these things, but these people, maybe showing that the people are things too. Okay, so at first glance, I thought this was only for people who supported Christopher Columbus as a good thing. But I stopped, and I thought about it, and I used my steps to think about it. So one of the things you need to be thinking about is just because you think one thing the first time doesn't mean you shouldn't be really studying it and thinking it through to see if it supports your argument. So I'm going to ask you all to do the same. So no matter what your argument is, no matter what side of the coin you have chosen, I want you to take a look at this picture here. I'll read you the caption. It says, Spanish explorer Ponce de Leon was just one of many European adventurers who pursued rumors of lost kingdoms, or in his case, the fountain of youth. Here he is offered a drink of the legendary liquid that would allow men to live forever, as imagined in this later illustration. Though he led 2 expeditions to Florida in 1513 and 1521 in search of the fountain, he never found it. So thinking about this and thinking about what your position is now, use the steps. What does it show? How might this support your argument? Go ahead and do that work. You can do that work with your tribe. You can kind of have an argument and a disagree with if people are there.
Also, on what side are you on? Because we voted. No, but Mr. Lloyd just told us on what
Yeah,
side.
kind of go through it. What's your position? Go through the process. See what you can come up with.
Mr. Lloyd dijo que ahí está. ¿Tú estás en cuál? Bad. Okay, so he's a good and bad. I think that photo is not showing anything there because he's not doing harm to the Indians.
What's wrong in that picture? There is nothing else.
Yes, look there here.
Oh, I see that he even looks bigger than the other Spanish guys because he discovered new lands.
I think because
Look that guy, he's in front of him, and he's like giving him his hand.
yeah, because he's actually a cop of that point of view, and this photo never happened because
That picture could have happened.
no, he was looking for that.
All right, finishing up your idea.
Because we just read the caption and
3,
How do you know that
2,
that picture never happened?
because
1,
I told us in the
0.
caption.
Okay, so this is actually called spinning your argument. Okay, a lot of people think that they've heard this term and this is not a good thing to do. And the reason we're focusing on it and the reason I'm having you do it is once you do it, once you look at facts and you try to spin them to fit your argument, you're going to start understanding when people are trying to do the same thing to you. You are bombarded by messages online all the time, blog posts, news things, fake news, real stuff, people telling you things about your kidneys getting damaged. All of this stuff is thrown at you. If you understand what it means to look at a fact and be able to change it or to manipulate it to fit what you believe, you're going to have more tools in your toolbox to be able to defend yourself when people are trying to do it to you. Okay, so this is called spinning things to fit your evidence, okay, or to fit your opinion. All right, and it's a good process to go through. So, having said that as well, what you are going to be working on to do today, I have posted here. Oh, and this is what I'm going to do.